What if I told you that the strange rectangular pupils in a goat's eyes aren't just a weird design? They're an evolutionary masterpiece that lets them see danger coming from almost every direction at once. Picture a quiet hillside at dusk. A herd of goats grazes peacefully, heads down, munching on grass and weeds. But while they eat, they're also watching, not just in front of them, but behind, above, and to the sides. All without turning their heads. Because unlike humans, whose round pupils focus sharply on what's directly ahead, goats see the world through a panoramic lens. Their rectangular, horizontal pupils act like built-in wide-angle cameras, giving them nearly 360-degree vision. But why, and how did nature arrive at such an unusual design? It turns out, the shape of an animal's pupil isn't random. It's a direct response to how that animal survives, whether it's a predator chasing down prey or prey trying not to become dinner. Goats, as grazing animals, needed an advantage. They couldn't afford to miss the subtle movement of a stalking wolf or a diving eagle. So evolution gave them one of the most effective visual defense systems in the animal kingdom. Let's start with the basics. Pupils control how much light enters the eye. In bright conditions, they contract. In the dark, they expand. But shape changes everything. Round pupils, like ours, are great for animals that rely on forward-focused, sharp detail, like primates judging distance when swinging between branches or predators locking onto a target. But horizontal, rectangular pupils are something else entirely. They belong to the watchers, the grazers, the animals that survive by seeing trouble before it sees them. Think of it like this. If you're a goat, your life depends on detecting motion across a wide, open landscape. You can't be looking down at your food and also up at the sky at the same time, unless your eyes are designed to do both. And that's exactly what rectangular pupils allow. Because of their horizontal orientation, these pupils maximize the amount of light entering from the sides and minimize glare from above. This creates a much broader field of view, up to 320 to 340 degrees, compared to a human's 180 degrees. That means a goat can see almost everything around it, with just small blind spots directly in front of its face and right behind its head. But it gets even more fascinating. Goat pupils aren't just rectangular, they also rotate. When a goat lowers its head to eat, its pupils stay parallel to the ground. This keeps the horizon in view, so even while grazing, the goat can scan for predators. It's like having a built-in level. And because the pupil is wide horizontally, it allows more light to enter from the sides, enhancing peripheral vision. At the same time, the narrow vertical opening blocks bright overhead light, reducing glare and helping the goat see clearly even at noon or during sunrise and sunset. Prime feeding and predator hours. Now, imagine you're that goat. You're chewing on some dry grass, your head is down, but out of the corner of your eye, you detect a shift in the shadows, a flicker of movement. Without even lifting your head, you know something's approaching. That's the rectangular pupil in action, constant surveillance, built into the very structure of the eye. But why rectangles? Why not ovals or slits? It comes down to optics. A horizontal pupil spreads light reception across a wider plane, which is ideal for detecting motion across a flat landscape. Think of the difference between looking through a round porthole on a ship versus a long horizontal window. The window gives you a much broader scenic view. For prey animals like goats, sheep, deer, and horses, that broad view is the difference between life and death, and it's not just goats. This pattern repeats across the animal kingdom. Animals that are hunted often have horizontal pupils. Animals that hunt, like cats and snakes, often have vertical pupils, which help them gauge depth and ambush prey. And animals that are active both day and night, like foxes, sometimes have pupils that can change shape. But goats represent one of the clearest examples of form-following function. Their eyes are perfectly adapted to their role as vigilant, wide-ranging foragers. There's another layer, too. Goats are social animals. They live in herds, and herd survival depends on shared awareness. When one goat detects danger, it alerts the others. With their wide field vision, multiple goats can monitor overlapping zones, creating a kind of collective security system. No single goat needs to see everything, but together they leave almost no blind spots uncovered. So the next time you see a goat calmly chewing, remember, it's not just eating. It's watching, scanning. Interpreting a visual world most of us can't even imagine. One where the edges of reality are wider, the horizon is always in focus, and danger rarely comes as a surprise. That rectangular pupil is more than a curiosity. It's a symbol of adaptation, a quiet reminder that evolution tailors even the smallest details to help creatures survive. And in the goat's case, it gave them one of the most effective early warning systems in nature. What other animal adaptations leave you amazed? Let me know in the comments. Your suggestion could be the focus of our next deep dive into the Animal Fact Vault.